Okay. I'm actually a minute late today. I got on here a minute late, so hopefully everybody will jump in here. I'm I'm not prompt today. Of course, I'm a year older, so that's probably one reason I'm not as prompt today. Um, I've aged another year. Hey Zach, how are you? Hey Jamie. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Had a big birthday yesterday. Uh, Went out with my son, and we went man shopping, I guess you might say. We went to the Home Depot and Lowe's, and had to go to a bike shop pick up his bike. Uh, my my son's birthday was Friday, and mine was Saturday. So we had a big shared birthday, you might say, and so we had a good time. Steve and I, uh, Steve, my son, we had a good time, just taking our time, going through, like I said, Home Depot. Picked up a couple of tools that I naturally had to have. Uh, when you go into those places, you think you have to have it. So that's where I'm at, and all that. Trump's been up to what Trump's normally doing. I mean, he's keeping everything rocking and rolling, Zach. I mean, uh, he got some good decisions this week. The Supreme Court finally shot down some of these lower court judges. Yeah, yeah, he's been kicking ass to the liberals, hasn't he, Jamie? But yeah, finally, they're getting a court decision about all these lower court judges being able to stifle him and everything. So hopefully that's going to go in his favor going forward on some new things. But it's disgusting how bad he's been crippled uh, with these lower court judges' decisions on things, and it's just not right. It's not right for them to hold up a presidential decision. I mean, we got a president. He was elected. He was duly elected by the populace of the United States. He he's there mandated to do the right thing that they elected him for. One being, which he's done, close the border and then deport these illegals and everything. And these lower court judges are doing everything under the sun to keep him from doing that. So hopefully that court order will help out and everything. How do you like my shirt here? I'm a badass boomer. Yeah, my son got me this shirt last year, actually. Uh, but it's got a picture of a street rod on the back too, and he thought that was very appropriate for his dad. Oh yeah, liberals will do what liberals will do. That's for sure. Uh, uh, it seems like 90% of the liberals have the worst case of TDS that you could ever have. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, he he could he could put a rule out there that everybody ought to eat vanilla ice cream, and they would say, "Oh no, we got to eat chocolate." You know. So whatever. It's how ridiculous. It's how ridiculous that the people with TDS syndrome, are just stupid, just totally stupid. They will do anything and everything. I mean, if he said, "Let's all go right," and he go, "No, let's go left." Let's all go left. No, let's all go right. That's how stupid their decision making is at this point. It's whatever Trump wants to do, we don't want to do it. It doesn't it doesn't matter how serious and how good it is, we don't want to do it. I mean, why else would they let boys and girls bathrooms? boys and girls sports. I mean, just all kind of things like that. Oh yeah, and they're big time crybabies. That's for sure. That's for sure, Walter. But uh, it is what it is. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to get rid of that. And it's quite evident when you look at even past presidents and everything that are Republicans. They end up with a lot of this same situation. Ronald Reagan. I was looking at some of his old film and everything, and it was a lot of the same thing. Although they seem to be more mean with it right now than I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I mean that's what we've got. I mean, I know some people when Obama was in just hated Obama, but not to the degree that everybody that's a liberal hates Trump. I mean, I didn't hate Obama. I didn't like things he was doing, but I didn't hate him, and uh, I didn't talk about him in the manner that people about Trump. I mean, it is a total a crazy situation. I mean, it's one thing to dislike policy, but it's another thing to just be so hateful at a person, and that's what you got with all these people with TDS problems right now. I mean, they just totally hate Trump. And what is so strange is how loved he was when he was a liberal, when he was well, he was sort of independent liberal, liberal thinking, in his early years, and everybody thought, well, he's a Democrat. He's a Democrat, and I think he voted Democratic and Republican. He never did profess to be one way or the other, and you see him even on Oprah's show way back, and she was talking about how smart he was and everything else, and you ought to run for president, have you ever considered running for president? And then, even then he lightly said, well, yeah, you know, if he did, he would do this and do that. And oh yeah, they applauded him then. But when he actually got up there and he actually came in as a Republican, oh man, we're against you, Donald Trump. We don't want you doing all these things that you've done in the past. We don't like the fact that you've fixed things for New York City uh, in 2 months that was taking them 5 or 6 years. What was it, that ice rink that he did up there? He did it in like 2 months, and the city had been messing around with it for like 5 years to get it done. And it goes to show you how crazy things are. I mean, he's a builder. He knows how to do real estate, and he knows how to make deals. And it's quite evident of how good he's done brokering even this stuff with the bombs and everything. I mean, he's got Russia and China and North Korea now on guard, saying maybe we don't want to mess with Trump because he could come in here and crack our butt, and he could, and he would if he saw that it was necessary to do something very dramatic. He would do it. He's not wishy-washy like past administrations. I mean, we didn't have, all to pin Biden. He didn't know what he was doing. I mean, he was just up there uh, eating his ice cream and saying, yeah, I'll do that, I'll do that, and he had no idea what the heck was going on. I mean, it was quite evident that he was not in control at all. And it didn't work, but 4 or 5 hours a day if you worked that much, and then they hid the rest from everybody else. So that's what we got. That's what we got. But we're just going to have to fight through with everything with Trump, everything that he needs done. If he can get this tax bill through, I think that's going to be a good thing. If he can get that through and keep our taxes down, we'll be in a lot better shape. If he doesn't get it through, we're going to be in bad shape. because taxes are going to go up on everybody. And the crazy liberals don't see that at all. It's a again, it's a tax bill that, you know, they just don't want anything to do with it because it's got Trump's name on it. And you know, anything with Trump's name on it, they don't want. That's exactly right, James. That's exactly right. Exactly right. I mean, well, what's up with y'all guys? I've been busy. Oh, thank you, James. Uh, I've been busy. This has been, like I said, my birthday week, so I've been busy with that all week long. I went to 2 concerts this week. I went to see Ringo Starr and his All Star Band Wednesday night, and then Friday night I went to see Travis Tritt down in Spartanburg. I went to Charlotte to see Ringo, and then Spartanburg to see Ringo. So I've been out partying this week. I've been out exercising my uh, my luxury side, I guess, or entertainment side. So Barbara and I have been enjoying that, and just taking advantage of being retired and doing what the heck I want to do. That's what I did this week. I didn't get involved with doing anything too strenuous. I did get my tractor back. I've had my tractor. Uh, I had to send it back up to the Coyote dealer, and what it was, Jim and I had tried and tried to get it to regen. We couldn't get it to regen right, and what it was a sensor, of course. That's the problem with these all this new equipment is you got tons of sensors on it, and you can't get by them. They will shut your tractor down, or your car, or your big truck, or whatever. I mean, if you've got one of these sensors that goes bad, those darn things have to be replaced, or you're it'll go into limp mode, as they call it, and that's what my tractor was in. It was in limp mode, and it could just barely move, you might say, and so I had to. I spent a little bit of money on getting it towed they came down with the rollback and picked it up and took it up to the dealer. The dealer's not too far away. He's only about 8 or 10 miles from here. So it didn't cost me too awfully much, but the rest of it was under warranty. So that was good. And, so I got that fixed and got that back ready to go. And now I can bush hog. I've got several fields. I had a guy that was cutting my hay over here. He evidently, he has bailed on me. I guess you might say, because he's not, either he's got overwhelmed or something. He's decided not to come bail my, uh, uh, my field. So I'm gonna bush hog it and just let it go back to seed. Not worry about it. Yep. I'm a birthday boy. Yesterday was my birthday. Turned 74 yesterday, so I'm almost 3/4 of a century. So I know the old days are limited, are closer in than ever before. I mean, I've definitely got fewer days ahead of me than I had behind me. I got 74 years to brag about behind me, and I'll never get 75 years ahead of me. That's for sure. So but I'm happy with where I am in my life. I fulfilled a lot of my dreams. I fulfilled them a lot with my family. Uh, so I've got a great family and those sort of things. So I'm very grateful for where I am in my life right now. Yeah, I'm an old goat, James. That's for sure. Now, James, how old are you? You're not as old as me, are you, James? I'm probably the oldest in the bunch right now that's out here talking. I know. Yep, not yet. Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. 66. Oh yeah, you're a young chicken. Yeah, you're down there with Jamie's down there about that age. Jamie, you're in your Jamie's in his early 60s, I think, aren't you? Uh, And then Zach's in here earlier. I don't know if he's still in, but Zach's in. I think he's in his 30s. He's over in Australia. But it is what it is, and I'm glad that I have made it as far as I have, and I'm glad that I can still get out and chit chat and talk with people and do a few things. I can't do as much as I used to. Ever since I had the bypass surgery, and then I had all those COVID shots that I wish I didn't have. I've had problems with my lungs, as I've discussed on here many times. I have lung issues now, and I can't breathe as good. I can't breathe as good. I can't. I even the long episodes of talking like I do on this sometimes takes my breath. I mean, I get overwhelmed and feel like I'm searching for air a little bit. So that's one reason I don't do as long shows as I used to. I mean, heck, I would used to get out here and do an hour and a half, and now I don't do that anymore. Well, I've been going to all the specialists, James. I've been going to a pulmonary doctor, and they have examined my lungs, and they say it looks like my lungs are from somebody that was a coal miner. I've had damage done to my irreversible damage done to my lungs since the COVID shots, and I wish I could. I wish I could do something about it. They said it's irreversible. I mean, once they X-rayed it, checked it out, saw what I have. I mean, it's like they said, "Did you work with asbestos?" I said, "No." Have you worked in a coal mine? No. Did you smoke? No. All those things I didn't do, but yet my lungs got damaged, and so that's the sad thing about it. But you live with it. You live with it. I mean, there's a lot of people out there with COPD and all kind of different things. I just don't have the lung capacity anymore. I can't breathe, literally cannot breathe as good as I used to. And like I said, even talking like I'm doing right now, it gets to a point where I feel like I have to take a deep breath or two because I can't continue talking like I did. Yeah. Well, I've seen lots of them, and trust me, I've asked my doctor, and like I said, he's a pulmonary specialist. It's not like I'm just going to a general practitioner, or and everything. And I was recommended to him because he's one of the best in this area as a pulmonary specialist, and he's examined me. I've had the sniff test. I've had all kind of different breathing. I mean, I've been X-rayed to death and tested to death. So trust me, guys, I have taken about everything you can take, and they just say I've got damaged lungs, and they can't do anything about it. I mean, it's like if somebody were to come in as a coal miner or something. I mean, once that damage is done, I mean, unless you go in there and give me a couple of new pair of lungs, I can't do anything about it. And that's where I'm left at right now. But I can live with it. I can live with it. It's uh it yeah. Well, I mean, I'll take all the information I can get and I check it out. And of course, I'm like everybody else. I Google everything. Anytime I can see anything that would be related to what I've got, I try to check it out. But it is what it is. I'm kind of stuck with it. In other words, I got hit with a bad shot, in my opinion. Uh, they when I brought this up initially, the doctors kind of like poo pooed it. They go, "Well, maybe not, maybe not." And I said, "I'm telling you, when I got that third COVID shot." when I got that third booster, that's when I went downhill. I mean, it was almost immediate. I mean, I'm talking about within weeks, I could tell a huge difference that I couldn't breathe as good. I couldn't walk as far. I couldn't do a lot of things that I was doing. And, and I try. It's not like that I don't try to do these things. I try to do these things, but it's just not happening. I'm not getting the results that I wish I could get. And there seems to be no medication for it. I mean, I've tried like the inhalers. Uh, like I said, I've taken all the tests that you think you can take, and nothing seems to be helpful right now. Oh, I know it. There's a lot of people, and you can tell. I mean, like that football player that went down a couple of years ago. I mean, he just passed out right there on the field, and they had to cart him off, and he almost died. Uh, I think it was a Cincinnati Bengals player. I think it was a Cincinnati game, but anyway, these situations are out there, and people just didn't want to admit it back when Biden's COVID people were out there in charge of everything. Yeah, I mean it's it's just one of those situations. But I'm living with it. If I don't live with it, I'll be gone. That's it, plain and simple. I'm doing the best I can, and uh, that's why you don't see me doing as much as I used to on the channel because I can't. I mean, I get out there on the equipment, and I need to film some. I think the biggest thing is it takes a lot to move cameras around and film stuff, and when I want to go out and do stuff now, I just want to go do it, and get it over with, and go back inside the house or whatever. Uh, so I don't try to film as much. I probably ought to. I probably ought to. It might give me a little incentive to do some things. I'm doing a lot of work at my building. I've added on to my building at the house, my shop down there, and we've done a lot of remodeling down there. And it looks good. I got that building looking pretty good now, I think, and uh, I can hide all my crap. That's what my wife says. That yeah, you got the building now so you can hide all your crap. Before it was setting out and you could see too much of it. Now I've got it behind doors. So I got it sort of like Charlie Rich song. It's behind closed doors now. So that's what I've got. Good morning, Jerome. Glad to see you in here. Yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to uh, stay busy, and of course Jimmy and I stay busy up here at shop. Jim does more than I do. Jim, of course, I came up here the other day and I kind of got scared. I came up and Jim was sitting down and had his head down on the table over there. Of course, it was hot that day. And I said, Jim. And he kind of woke up a little bit. And he said, yeah, he'd gotten a little bit dizzy and laid his head down. And Jim had one bout like that before. We had to take him to the hospital. And it kind of scared me. Because I told him, I said, Jim, you know the rule. I said, if you feel tired, you sit down, you rest. Jim and I don't have a schedule up here. Nothing. No schedule whatsoever. So we have chores we want to do, but we have no schedule. I don't put him on a schedule and say, hey, try to get this car out by X amount of days or do that or do that. All we do is what we want to do. And Jim and I both are, well, I'm retired and he's semi-retired. He's working 3 days a week for me. And if you don't want to work 3 days a week, he won't work 3 days a week. And I mean, it is what it is. We do our best to have fun here in the shop. You're in a 34 reset in Kentucky. Oh, wow. What part of Kentucky, Jerome? I like Kentucky. Kentucky's a nice state. I think it's a pretty state. Um, I used to have a run that went right inside the Kentucky line past Tennessee. What is that little town? I mean, it's just right across the line. It's like the first town across the Kentucky line. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm through with it too. Hour south of Louisville. Okay. So you're down, if you're an hour south, are you down on 75, James? I mean, Jerome? Yeah, I used to run 75 up north, up through that way. Of course, you went to Louisville, you'd be on 65, wouldn't you? You'd be south on six, you'd be 60, or am I, which one, Lexington and Louisville, Louisville's over, Lexington's over on 75. Louisville's on 65. I believe that's right. Yeah, I tell you, getting your own authority is a tough cookie. It is a tough cookie. I don't I don't when I did that with Amazon, it just it wasn't as much fun as I thought it was going to be. I can tell you, and it was not as profitable as you think either. Now, I did okay with FedEx. Of course, I didn't have to have my own authority for FedEx. I mean, we were under a completely different contract. And I thank goodness we didn't have to have our own insurance. When you have to pay for all that insurance under your own authority, I mean, your insurance is more is heftier sometimes than your daggum truck payments are almost. I mean, you're looking at maybe insuring one truck $10,000 to $15,000 a year, just one truck, and excuse me, and I've heard nightmares of it being higher than that. It's so. Oh, I know it. And they will get you. You got to have an impeccable, uh, clean as a whistle uh, situation with insurance. I mean, if you have the first little bump up, they're going to crack you big time on insurance. I mean, your rate might go from 10,000 to 15,000 with a snap of the finger for almost nothing. For almost nothing, I can tell you that. And that's the insurance racket in trucks is unreal. But that being said, you can understand why, because all these people that get out there and sue truckers, they they don't realize how they're screwing the United their own their self too. I mean, somebody looking out there for a rich payday is what it is, and they get out there and they sue people for a frivolous amount. You're quoted 45,000 for 5 trucks. Oh, and that's going in, and that's a sort of a gotcha thing. I got you in, we got you, and then the next year, instead of being 45,000, they'll probably jump up to 65,000. So that's how they get you on that. I mean, I know firsthand how they do it, and I mean, you can almost have nothing wrong with your situation. I mean, for instance, if one of your drivers gets a ticket, like a speeding ticket, your rate can go up just because he got a speeding ticket, not because you damaged anything, not because uh, of anything like that, but because his record is not as clean as it was the year before, your insurance rates will go up. Well, basically, that's why I said with your authority, that's what you're going to get, and they got you by the gonads. I can tell you, there's only a few companies out there that will even insure trucks. It's not like it's a wide open market where there's 100 companies that'll do it. I mean, you got Progressive and a couple of these others that's about the only ones that are doing that right now, and they break it off in you. They break it off in you. When you see these huge commercials and everything, I'm up here cleaning my my toolbox at the same time here. I'm seeing all it's amazing. I got this right beside my plasma cutter, and it's amazing how much dust we get off that plasma. Get a real dirty rag there. It's something, but that's what we get with those sort of situations with uh, when you have your own authority. Yeah, if you're new in it, and they yeah, you've got to have 2 or 3 years experience, and I was able to skate some of that because of my being a contractor with FedEx, and but with my own authority, I was able to get around a few things, but they popped it to me after 2 or 3 years. I can tell you, was not was not prevent good at all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and they've got a racket on that, and then Progressive's rate was definitely not good. I bet you, and trust me, you get in there with Progressive, and you stay in there for a year or 2 years, that entry level that you started at will change almost overnight. Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody's that they got you where they want you because once you are in the system, they know your information. They know what kind of rates to give you and everything like that. So it's something. Well, guys, I am about out of breath. I'm about out of. I've been on here 30 minutes. That's about all I can handle nowadays. As you can tell, I'm coughing a little bit more. So I'm gonna call it quits for today. I've enjoyed it. I had a great birthday week. Uh, Glad to make it at 74. Maybe I'll make it even a 74 in a week, and I'll see you next week. Let's do that. And I'm gonna get out of here, and I'll catch y'all later. See ya.